There it goes. Alright. This is supposed to be private, but again, probably it's not. Watching now, 0. Cool. Copy. No, basic. Unlisted. Okay, so we're still unlisted. Hopefully that means, that this is doing what I want. Hi, everybody. Right now I'm just trying to get everything set up, and it seems like I'm still getting the hang of YouTube Live. So, and I don't know. It looks like it's the same stream every time, but I'm unlisted. So, I don't know. It's weird. I do like the setup options better for YouTube Live, and it seems like it works really well. But, well, okay. But, I don't like that the URL is the same every time for the live stream. And it doesn't look like I can do a custom URL. I don't know. I gotta figure that out. I might have to do a secret URL for my patrons. I know. I'm doing a live stream. So. Anywho, there's nobody here. So. Ooh! One person. Yay! So, if you have any questions about, your costume, now's the time to ask. I'm just gonna kind of sit here and dig around until you guys ask questions. And, I don't know, do paperwork. Which I'm sure is going to be, like, super exciting for you. I don't really have anything to talk about because our last chat was 3 days ago. So if you want to chat with me, there should be a little chat section for you somewhere. Mine's off to the right of the screen. Yeah, just ask questions. I'm willing to answer any questions about sewing or wing making or materials or cost analysis or, yeah, pretty much anything. I'm looking at you, one viewer. I wonder if I can go live. Maybe not. No. Usually I can go live on my Patreon too for people, but it looks like that's not the case. I can tell you about my costume. I'm still working on my death costume. I really want to get those stilts done. I figured out what I need to do to get the pivot more by the ankle. So I gotta do that. And I want to give it a try without... I've seen them done both ways where it's just the shin. It's held on by the shin, and I've seen it where it's held on by with the shin and the thigh. Like you basically have a pivot at the knee as well. So I'm gonna try and do it with just the shin because the less bulk I can have on my legs, so that they look more natural, the better. But we're gonna have to see how that goes. I really don't know. I've heard that I've seen people that have made it work that way, and that's how I want it to work. I also have some armor. Basically, had a leather worker asked me if I wanted to do a trade, and her work is gorgeous. And so once I get it in, I'll share her info with you guys. But she's getting me some like bone armor, leather bone armor for this costume, and then I'm making the headdress and the feet and the wings and the scythe. All the props stuff. And I'll probably end up adding more embellishments because it's pretty bare bones. Sorry. But I will get you guys that info once I get the costume done. I hope we can get some really cool pictures, and I hope I can finish it in time because it's a really complicated costume. Another thing we're doing is if you guys are in Arizona and are going to Fan Fest, I will be there with my friends, and we're going to go as the Muses one of the days. We were going to go Saturday, but it turns out 2 of our peeps have competitions that day. So, what are you going to do? Not costume competitions, but color guard competitions, and one's a participant and one is a coach. So both of them are going to be gone. So we'll have to compete another time. Oh well. I don't know. I also want to do a Mercy. I want to do Mercy really bad, but from Overwatch. But it's kind of one of those things where getting all the parts in and getting everything printed the way I want, it's going to cost a pretty penny that I don't have right now. So, see how it goes. I do have a backup set of wings for my death costume, but they're not my first choice of shape. So, I don't know. I got a lot of work to do, and very little time to do it. A month seems like a long time, but when you have as much work as I do. Who is this one person? Say hi to me or something. I feel like maybe this isn't working. If you are on Patreon, you can also message me in the Halloween Prep Hangout post that I just posted today. You can go ahead and message me there as well. The chat usually works really well. Enable live chat. Yep. Chat's open. If you don't ask me questions, I have nothing to say. Or very little to say. I'm very tired today. And the reason for that is I did CrossFit the other day, and it's been a while because, basically for Burning Man, I didn't do anything. And then for, after Burning Man, I was so swamped with stuff to do. Things have just kept happening. And I totally got out of my routine. I'm trying to get back into it. And I was I was up to like an 85-pound back squat, and we were at 80%, and I only managed at 100% to do a 75, and it was a near thing, and we backed up to 65, and I pretty much maxed out on that. And yesterday was the day after, and today is the day after the day after, and I am having trouble walking. Because I did too many squats, or not enough, depending on your opinion of the thing. But I'm basically in a lot of pain, and I'm really tired. So if nobody asks me questions in the next, 5 minutes, I'm looking at you, one viewer. I see you. See you right there on my screen. And I assume you want me to say something. But sit here and do my stuff. You know what I might do? You know what? I'm gonna open this up, patron. I'm assuming you're a patron. I don't know how else you could have gotten this stream. Wait. It's dumb. It's counting my messages. I might open this up to everybody. So that we can ask questions. I'm gonna make it public. Where do you say go? Hi guys. So there's a live stream, and I'm making this one public from this point forward, because I have nothing better to do for the next 15 minutes. So we'll see what happens. I wonder if I can edit these and take out this first 11 minutes of me not doing anything. Nah, I don't want any pretz. Ask me questions. 3 more minutes, and I'm giving up. So close to giving up. Oh well. Yay! What is your favorite thing about Halloween? Dressing up in costume. Duh. A lot of things, actually. I really like spooky, scary stuff. And I love horror movies, and I like suspense thrillers. I don't know. I don't like gore horror, but I don't know. I like lots of horror. And I like spooky stuff. So it's really fun that everybody kind of gets in the spooky spirit of things, and that's pretty much my favorite thing about Halloween, is that I'm not the only one that likes spooky, scary things for a month. And then, sadly, yay, 2 people watching. And then everybody else forgets about it, and I continue to love spooky, scary things the entire rest of the year, so. Hey, Alexis, that just takes me to your YouTube page. You should not just take it to the YouTube page. Alright, we've got a problem with my patrons. I am coming to your rescue, patron. Maybe. Let's see if this works. What happens? No, it totally takes me to the... Ah! Ooh. It does totally take me to this stream. I don't know what he's talking about. Alright, well. His computer's broken. That's sad. For those of you who've just joined, I'm answering questions on prop making and wing making and prop making and costume making for Halloween. So if you have questions, and would like some of my expertise, I've got, I don't know, technically another 15 minutes to hang out with you guys and answer questions. So, and that's pretty much all I'm doing. And if people don't ask questions, I'm just gonna babble, and you're not gonna be fairly entertained because I have nothing to do. I didn't set up this stream to be like, I don't know. How do you make the feathers? So the fake feathers are, there's actually, I think there should be a video up, but it's basically broadcloth, and then this construction adhesive, and then wire, and then another piece of fabric. So a fabric sandwich with wire and glue innards. That's basically it. And I make them pretty rough sized, like, and definitely bigger than I want them, and then I cut them down so that they're nice and pretty. If I need to paint them, I then use an airbrush, but that's kind of prohibitively expensive for a lot of people, unfortunately. Whoops. There. So I had the first set of owl wings that I ever did. I actually did by hand with acrylic paints and brushes, and it took literally a week for me to paint. An airbrush takes me just a day, so that's nice. Air tanks, I actually don't remember what my... It's the cheapy one on Amazon, and that is not what I recommend you use. I need to upgrade, and I haven't looked into it yet just because I'm so monstrously busy. I can actually probably look it up. Amazon airbrush. Oh wait, are you asking what tank I use for my pneumatics? I use Ninja paintball tanks for that, if that's what you're asking. Is there somewhere that shows how to make the back brace and the frame for the wings? So the frame for the wings is pretty simple. I'm making a video now showing the frame and what's involved in it. It's basically just square aluminum tubing with holes in it that you then, bolt together so that they can pivot around. And it's really simple. The back brace is a bit more difficult. So the one I make is a laser cut aluminum frame, and it's basically sheet aluminum that's laser cut into the shape I want, and there are standoffs that hold off the back plate that holds the wings off your back and all this stuff. And those, if you want to make one of those, I recommend getting Rhino 5 or AutoCAD, and those programs are pretty easy to use, at least I think so. If you can use Photoshop, for the most part, you can use those programs. And you can create your back brace that way. If you want a cheaper way, the first back brace I ever made was PVC and a piece of wood. So the piece of wood on the back was what held the wings, and the wings pivoted off of that piece of wood, and then I countersinked on the opposite side so that the bolts that might pivot when the wings pivot weren't like digging into your back. And then I just put a piece of PVC bolted to the sides and then looped at the bottom and then heat gunned, and all of that was a lot more work. And then you got to prime it and paint it and do all of this stuff, and it's a lot more work for me now than just getting it laser cut. You can find hydro cutters and laser cutters in the industrial area of your neighborhood near you. There are several where I live, and the one that I use now, I love these guys. They go to Comic-Con with me, and they're silly. But yeah, like if you can find one, you can definitely just get it laser cut. And I think, I took it down because it was silly, but one of the Google Hangouts was talking about back braces. I don't know if I have any here. I'll go grab one in a second. Actually, stay tuned. I'm going to answer another couple questions, then I'm going to run out of here and grab one. How would you make the foam cover the tops of the wings if fabric wasn't any option? Oh, why isn't fabric an option? So honestly, if you're making these for you, the reason I use a fabric cover is because it's easy to take off and put back on if you need to make repairs or change anything, and honestly, it's ease of access. If it's for you, you can technically glue like foam feathers to the frame over top of your over top of the actual frame, And that's how, if you go online, I'll even spell it out. Let's see. So Bushitaka is the guy that originally gave me the idea for these. His actually look way better. But what he had to do to make them look like that at the tops is he created all fake feathers, and which takes an amazing amount of time. His wings have a limited wingspan, and the way his feathers pivot, I've created wings with that feather pivot design, which is a base pivot instead of a side. So like I have square aluminum tubing, and the feathers pivot off of the back of the wing. His pivot along the middle of the wing, and he can get away with a lot of stuff because of that. And it looks better, but when I did it, feathers break a lot easier, and especially in a crowded environment, I decided that wasn't good. And then the central pivot means that they like kind of move a little more. So, but it looks really good. And if you're looking for a way to use foam fake feathers to cover your tops, look at his wings. They're gorgeous. And he basically just glued it to the frame. The downside of that being, if you ever want to change anything or like look in the frame, or like if anything goes wrong, you just basically have to rip them all off, and well, not all, rip a lot of them off and then glue them back on. Foam is the look. Well, so like I create these fabric sleeves, and then I put real feathers over top of them, and you could put foam cut feathers on the fabric sleeve, like you could glue them on. That's also another option. It won't move as nice though than if you glue it to the frame like Bushitaka. And if you're doing a smaller wing, especially, you can even do the centralized pivot system. Instead of doing a square aluminum tube, you could do a C channel, and then the bolts that are on the front and the back that it pivots along, you could just basically do it in the middle. You just need to find a way. I mean, standoffs are way too expensive, and nylon spacers are even pretty expensive. But if you can figure out a way to basically limit the space that so that the feather doesn't have that full 3/4 inch to move back, side to side, if you can limit its movement, that could actually look really freaking cool if you could get it in the central channel. And I've tried it, and I just found that it was cost prohibitive. It added, like, those nylon pieces cost. Now, I don't know. I guess if I went to McMaster, it's just also a lot more work. I don't know. I'm lazy. I should work on that. Anyway, but if you do the central channel, then it'll be easier to glue stuff on the outer frame without it interfering with the movement of your feathers. Oh, I need to stop working out. I think that's the solution to this issue. So I'm going to go get a back brace so that you guys can see it. BRB. Oy vey, I can't even walk. This is sad. Why did I do those back squats? Okay, so... Whoop. So this is basically the aluminum back brace that I use, and you can see it's pretty much just a flat aluminum sheet, and then I contour and bend the part that goes along this back piece, and the way it works is it sits like this on your back. And these holes here, this is where the bolt goes through, and there's actually plates, and I can't find the plates anywhere. Maybe they're in the garage, but the plate basically stands off of this, and you have these bolt holes have standoffs, a 1/2 inch standoff, and then there's a plate that sits on top of those and is bolted down, and then that has the pivot point here and here. And the reason this hole is so big is so that the full bolt and the socket wrench can get through here, and that way the bolt isn't on the back and actually like digging into you as it rotates. Yeah, and so this is what I get cut, and I mean, you know, feel free to make the design yourself in Rhino or AutoCAD. I'm constantly fiddling with the design, and I do sell these if you want just a back brace. So, check. How do you attach straps to the back brace? Okay, so, do I have a strap in here? I might. Hey, look, I do! There are benefits to having a messy room. So basically this is how I make my straps. Well, part of the straps. This is the strap adjuster piece, and this goes up on the top here. And basically these slats are for the straps to go in, and you can move them however you want, and like you can, like, depending on your costume, you can put them wherever you need to. You need to have a belt down here, and you need to have basically the strap that comes up here and through here so that you can adjust it like a backpack. That also attaches down here. But you basically loop it through the right way. I did it upside down. Hold on. There. And then, come here. Oh, is this the one that was too tight? Maybe? There we go. So, and it just attaches like that. It's just a loop. And you just have slats all throughout it, and you can put straps wherever you need to, and you can make a harness with whatever straps you want. Come on, get out of there. And I'll show you this closer. But yeah, it's basically just the strap that, you know, the piece that you need at the end, and then I do this. I need to be able to see what I'm doing. Basically this loop at the top. And I do I don't do like a straight loop. Like, I don't just do it like this. I do I guess you would call it an inverted loop, where it kind of goes like this, and then I sew it along there. And that seems to work a lot better, and keep everything flatter and neater. Everything bunches up all weird if you do it just a straight loop. So that's how straps attach. On actually both back braces, for the static and the articulating. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Alright, 2 more minutes, peeps. Any other questions? When you start to use elastic thread or normal thread, this is nylon strapping. It's not elastic. You can use elastic. I mean, and if I'm making certain smaller sets, I will make little elastic straps. These are so heavy, or not even that they're heavy, they're just so, it's like, even the 5-pounders, you know, 5 pounds isn't that much. You can lift it with one finger kind of thing. But when you move, all of that weight is creating air resistance, and it wants to, like, tip backwards. So having elastic, if you have thick elastic, it's fine sometimes. But if it's anything, if it's a small set, it's fine. But if you get any bigger, you want to have this non-moving, non-stretchy nylon strapping like you would for a backpack. For the elastic, actually, I still just use the regular thread. I don't use anything special. But the elastic, I would only recommend if you only have like a tiny set, like even these ones. Damn it, that didn't help. Get out of here. So like these ones here have elastic straps and barely manage to hang on, even with a piece of clothing helping hold them on. And these are, I'll back up so you can see. This is how big they are. So these aren't that huge, but like they're big enough and create enough air resistance that like little elastic straps don't do it. Bigger elastic straps might, but especially clear straps. Like you do not want to be wearing clear straps unless it's something teeny, like is it stuck? Like these guys. These ones, you could do elastic just fine. But these are pretty teeny, you know. Once you get the big ones, you want something holding them on. Okay, cool. I'm glad that helped. Boy. Any other questions before I go? Ooh. You are welcome, Brandon. Or Brad. Yeah, okay. At what point did I have 6 viewers? Whatever. Alright, well, if there are no more questions, I'm glad you guys could tune in for a little while, and if you are a patron, I will be having more of these, and you are privy to the schedule, but, and I may, if, you know, I don't get too much interest from patrons, I may open it up to general subscribers as time goes on, and I may do one that is just, well, not just, but that is for subscribers, because you guys do seem interested. The first one I had 20 people tune in, so that was interesting. So we'll see how it goes, but stay tuned. I'll try and do more of these. I will make questions for next session. Okay, cool. Yeah, 16 or 6 foot span, articulating or static. 6 foot, you might be able to get away with elastic straps, so long as they're not like super beefy. If it's 6 foot articulating, you're gonna need nylon, because it's not. Yeah, you're definitely gonna want to do nylon then. Don't even try elastic. If you're worried about like comfort or whatever, you can create little shoulder pads, but or even just at 6 feet, you might even be okay with just little pieces of fabric or whatever underneath it to keep you comfortable. But you need if you have that much stretch and bounce in something, because the actuators themselves weigh like, I want to say 2 pounds, right? I can look it up actually. Let's see. Actuators and I don't want light duty. Do not want premium. And we will say you're gonna need like a 2-3 inch actuator. Specifications: 35 pound force. Wait. Where's the weight? Oh. Aha. Here we go. 3 inches is gonna be 2 pounds, 1.84 pounds. So I mean, the actuators alone are 4 pounds, and then with all the feathers, you're looking at probably another 4 pounds. So it's like 8-9 pounds of weight, which doesn't seem like a lot when you're, lifting a weight and you have it towards your body, but, hold that weight out to the side a little bit, and that's kind of what it's going to feel like while you're wearing them. So, as an example. Alright, cool. Well, I'm glad I answered questions, and ooh, I'm on the wrong page. Here we go. Alright, and if that is it, I shall bid you guys good day, and hopefully you guys have some questions for me next time too. Keep on working on your projects. I will keep working on mine. Hopefully I'll have some updates for you by the time we have our next meet, because then I can sit here and actually talk about something instead of mumbling. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.